Welcome to my studio. Sorry I've been gone for so long. I've been lost in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, as all of you should have been. Honestly, anyone who hasn't, I feel sorry for them. Anyway, I've got a new tune out. I've got a new single out on Fun Sponge Records, a label from Sheffield run by Sect87, with one original track and a remix from the man like T-Dog Willy Wacker. It's a bit of a different track to my usual style, like faster, more 4x4 influence, kind of speed garage thing. And it's called Eastern Soundboy. I called it that because I often get accused of sounding Eastern by people who do those little paragraph reviews of my releases. And all I'm doing is using the same scales as the rest of you, like this one, for example. Like everyone uses that scale in bassline. It's basically you play all the keys of the A harmonic minor scale, but start on E, right? By the way, that scale is extremely common, as I said, in bassline music. It is, you get all these people doing. Yeah, I was just doing the same shit as the rest of you, and I get called Eastern, which is a bit of a cliche. But anyway, I've tried to do it on purpose this time. But I've used a slightly different scale, same notes, but starting on D. And that leads to this chord progression: D minor, E major, F major. Okay, I'm not really going to go much more into the harmony. I feel like I need to be better at editing videos to do that. But let me play you a bit of the drop, because this video is going to be all about how to make Reese basses.
Soundboy!
Okay, there you go. There's your Reese bass. So I'll go into the way the Reese bass is done in this track in a bit, but let's go into the essential ingredients of a Reese bass. A Reese bass is a bunch of detuned sawtooth waves put through a slammy, like really hard filter with some resonance to give it warmth. A 24 pole low pass filter we're talking about, like a really strong one. And the key tracking must be turned on in that filter. I'll show you what the key tracking feature does later if you're not sure. After you've done that, you usually put the patch through some multi-voicing. Stack it up about 2 or 3 times. And after you've done that, you usually apply some soft clipping distortion. That's how you make a Reese bass. There's probably other ways of doing it. There's probably other things you can do. If you've got some like outboard compressors or something, those might come in useful. The growliness of the Reese bass, that comes from the detuning of the oscillators. You can also achieve that in other ways, like using pulse width modulation is another thing you can do. Let's try all of these things today. So as ever, we're going to do this in multiple synths. So let's load up an ES2 patch first. Okay, here is our ES2 patch. So, as I said, the first thing we need to do is get 3 detuned sawtooth waves. We'll stick them down an octave, just because this is a bass. And we'll put them, like when I say detuned, I mean quite a lot, like whack them 23 cents out and put the other one in the middle. Okay, so that sounds too bright for a Reese bass, that sounds too bright. So this is where we apply the filter. We're going to use this one on the right because this has the different pole settings. So we use the 24 pole, add the fatness. In a modern synth, that fat thing should be more than just a button, by the way. It should be a dial, because you can add more. Fatness just means you push the rest of the signal up. That's all it does. And then we add a little bit of resonance. Okay, and then we fuck with the envelope so that it sounds. Yeah, it should be a flat one really, just with enough attack to stop it to stop it popping when it comes in. Okay, and there we are. We do need to put this up a bit. You could have no you could have no envelope at all. However, yeah, it just helps to neutralize the onset if you have a little bit. And then we need to put the key tracking on. This is very important because otherwise the high notes get easily lost. What the key tracking on the filter does is it makes sure that the low notes have a kind of, that the filter is more closed for the lower notes and more open for the higher notes. If you have it off, then the higher notes are just all filtered off in a low pass filter. You can also do reverse key tracking if you use a high pass filter. Yeah, it's the same concept, different direction. Anyway, we're nearly there with this one. Now we need to do the voice stacking. So that's what you do up here in the ES2. Stick two or three voices in unison, and then very important, make sure that you change this from free to soft, otherwise it spreads it in the mix. Yeah, and this is a sub bass sound, so it needs to be mono. Right. Okay, we're getting there now. I think this sounds okay. And then the next thing, you can add this little thing as well to things. It tends to help with detuned synth patches. This, I'm not really sure what it does. Kind of adds a bit of natural phase, I think. It's meant to be an emulator of, you know, the analog voltage pulse that you would get on old synths. I'm not sure it works very well, but it accidentally works quite well for anything where you're using multiple detuned oscillators on the same pitch. And then finally, we add the soft clipping, which you can do in the ES2 like this. So we're nearly there. Okay, yeah, I would just... yeah, maybe move that envelope down a bit. Sounds like there's a bit of an attack there, you see. Yeah, I'm not sure I like that much. Okay, that will do for our ES2 Reese. Now let's do one in Serum. So let's set both oscillators to basic shapes. Basic shapes. In analog, there's a few others you can use, but basic shapes is a simple one where you just select sawtooth wave, square wave, triangle, yeah, and you stick to them. No, you can't use pulse width modulation on this, but that's fine. So we'll put them all down an octave again. All right, and we can also use the sub oscillator to add the third one. We'll do it the same way as we did the other way. You can do other ways in Serum, but let's do it the same way. So we whack them up about 30-25 cents each one. And then you put everything through the filter. Make sure they're all selected. Put key tracking on the filter. It's this button here in Serum. Switch the filter to the low 24. That's probably enough warmth. And then in the effects you can put on the distortion. This hyperdimension plugin can spread it, but it also spreads it in the mix, so I wouldn't use it. Even if you stick this on, I think. Oh no, then it works. Yeah. No, it's still stereo. Still stereo. Is it? Is it just because I need to turn off the dimension part? Let me just see if that's actually stereo, because that could be quite a helpful effects plugin. That. You want the metering and where's the Multimeter, yeah. This shows you whether it's phasing, this goniometer thing. Yeah, no, that's pretty... yeah, no, that is quite spread. Yeah, that is a bit spread. I would, yeah, take care with that. Let's just stick it through some distortion. So we choose soft clip. Cool. There's your Reese on Serum. Yeah, the filter on the ES2 I've got sounding a bit warmer. There might be a maybe I've given it too much drive here. Yeah. The way I've done it here, this is just on one patch, of course. The way I've done it here is by stacking a few. So I've got the sub bass here, and then the mid here, and then the top. And what I've basically done, the reason I've done this is because I wanted to demote the task of the soft clipping to this bass amp plugin, just to give it a bit more of character. I'm not sure it really worked, but I stuck with that approach. One of the important things about production is to choose an approach and then stick to it. Stick to your decisions. Don't keep rethinking things, otherwise you never finish anything, and I'm bad enough as it is. So yeah, there it is with some sidechain. So yeah, that's how you make a Reese. You make a Reese with some detuned sawtooth waves. You stick them through a slammy low-pass filter with a nice fat one, 24 poles, bit of resonance. Put key tracking on the filter. Spread the voicing if you can, and then put it through some soft clipping. That is how I would make a Reese. There are other ways of doing it. Maybe we can have a go at doing it on some hardware, just to finish this off. All right, so let's have a go at doing this on the Korg Minilogue. I've got an empty patch here. That's a sawtooth wave. Now we're going to add another one. Okay, and now we need to detune them, so we're going to do that the same way. So I'm moving the pitch knob up until it gets to about 30 cents each side. Yeah, there we are. All right, I'm going to turn it down octaves a bit because it's a bass. Okay, and the next thing we need to do is the filter. So 4-pole, low-pass filter. Bit of resonance, just a bit though. Make sure key track is on. Now we can put it up a bit. And then there is a way that you can stack the voices in the Minilogue, but I want to try the other way here now, which is pulse width modulation. So let's just make sure that the sawtooth waves are the same shape, and we're going to set this LFO to modulate the shape. That's a bit too much, just a bit. Yeah, it doesn't work as well. So let's use let's stop that, and we'll use the classic method, which is just to put them in unison, and then the Minilogue has a feature which which detunes that. So here we have our Reese. And finally, we can hook that Minilogue patch up to this thing, which my friend left over at my studio the other week. It's a tiny little orange guitar amp. I think we can possibly use that to do some soft clipping. So let me just plug everything in. So the Minilogue patch is now going through this. Oh God, that's a lot. Yeah, I mean it works. It works. I mean it takes away the entire low end. So if you were actually doing that on a track, I would recommend using a sub track under it. But it works. We managed a purely analog Reese bass. So yeah, thanks for watching. Go check out the new single, Fun Sponge Records, Eastern Soundboy. Me with a remix from T-Dog Willy Wacker. And hope to see you soon for some more videos.